welcome to Professor SNAB, where we aim to make A-level biology as simple as a cell. So today we'll be learning how to calculate the efficiency of biomass and energy transfers between trophic levels. So the chemical energy stored in plant biomass is passed to primary consumers when the plant is ingested. And primary consumers are animals that eat plant material, and they can be herbivores or omnivores. When the primary consumer is ingested by a secondary consumer, which can be a carnivore or an omnivore, the stored chemical energy passes on to the secondary consumer. And when an organism dies, the chemical energy stored in its tissues passes to decomposers such as bacteria and fungi. And these different trophic levels, when they're connected together, you get a food chain. So a food chain is split into stages called trophic levels. So this is quite an important slide to know because questions on energy losses in a food chain come up as 2 or 3 markers. And although it sounds like it's not a lot of marks, it's quite a frequent and very predictable question, so it's quite good to know. So the energy transfer in a food chain is not 100% efficient. And as we move up every trophic level, the energy is lost to the environment. And not all of the sun's energy is available to producers. Light passes through leaves or is reflected away. Light may hit parts of the plant that are not photosynthetic. Only some wavelengths are absorbed in photosynthesis. Energy released during respiration is not passed on to the next trophic level, so that's energy wasted once again. Not every part of the food organism is eaten. Consumers are not able to digest all of the food they ingest. Energy is lost to the environment in the form of heat when consumers respire, and energy is lost to the environment when organisms excrete the waste products of metabolism. So the energy that is left after these losses is what is passed on to the next trophic level. So that is what is available to the consumer to fuel their life functions, including being stored in biomass during growth. So how do you calculate energy efficiency? So energy efficiency is calculated by net productivity over the total energy received times by 100. And net productivity is calculated by subtracting energy losses from the energy received. So if you guys want a detailed video on gross primary productivity and net primary productivity, then do check it out because it's already been posted. Calculating the efficiency of biomass transfer in a practical sense. So dry biomass is used to calculate the efficiency of biomass transfer, and biomass can be dried by keeping it in an oven at low heat and weighing the sample at regular intervals until the mass is constant. However, if you are doing the practical in school, what you can do is, especially if you're calculating the efficiency of biomass transfer in plants, you can leave the plants out in the sun and weigh them in a time interval of days. So you could weigh the um, species or specimen after a day or as a time span of 2 days, 3 days, whatever you like. But if you're using anything else, then an oven would be mostly recommended. And the efficiency of biomass transfer can be calculated by the following formula, which you must know. So that is biomass transferred over biomass intake times 100. So in terms of exam questions, you will be given the data. You will be told what the biomass of the different species you need to know is. So you don't have to worry about that. And to calculate the biomass transferred, you're going to subtract the biomass of the smaller biomass from the larger biomass. So that's how you calculate the biomass transferred. And then the biomass intake is whatever value is the bigger one. That's it. So biomass transfer is basically the smaller value, take away the bigger value, and biomass intake is whatever the bigger value is. And then you times it by 100. So a key formula that you should know because they do come up as past paper questions so many times. From Professor Snap today. Hope you found this useful. If you have any questions or if you need any clarifications, Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.